Hey guys, Adventure Man here. Welcome to another episode of Jail Recollections and Inside Look, episode 5. So I'm going to talk to you about the things we had to wear. So we were issued 2 pairs of clothing per week. If you didn't go exchange your clothing, you didn't get fresh clothing. And some people would resort to washing it with the soap powder that they would take when the guards would come in for like meals or whatever. They would give us something. They would give us a mop and stuff in order to mop the floors before we ate. And so they would take some of that powder and use that to wash their clothes. Now, I know this differs per jail. So this is not a rule of thumb. Where I was at, generally, most inmates had brown clothing. And there was different sizes of clothing, obviously, and you could tell what size they were because they had a different color of band on the neck. And generally, I was different than most inmates because I was a federal prisoner. Therefore, I wore blue, which is why I hate navy blue now and the sky blue, because I wore that for 6 months and 8 days. Got kind of tired of looking at that. But anyway, I digress. So, we had 2 pairs of clothing each week. And obviously, we can only exchange 1 pair of clothing unless you're out there in your boxers, because obviously you're wearing it. So, clothing and sheets. A lot of times when we would get clothing, they would give us, we would tell them what size we were, and they would give us a different size. And I'm like, this is not my size. And they're like, oh, well, we don't have anything else. You're a jail. You darn well better have something else, because you need things that are going to fit the people. There was more than one instance, for example, where I was given boxer shorts that, I'm a size 30 waist. They gave me a size 42 boxers. I'm like, how am I supposed to wear that? But of course they didn't care. And there were times they gave me really big pants or big shirt. The shirt wasn't too bad because, well, a shirt's a shirt, as long as it's not slipping off my shoulders. But occasionally it's just too big. The pants were a problem because you needed those to stay up. And there was one time they gave me humongous pants. I mean, they were probably this wide. I'm like, how does this work? Because I can't put these on. They're like, oh, well, we don't have any others. So I was thinking to myself, well, they need to order some or something. And then they gave that same clothing exchange. This other guy, he was a portly guy. He was also a federal prisoner. They gave him, which on him looked like uber skinny jeans, basically. So it's these were so small on him. For one, he could barely get them on, and he only put them on for kicks, because people would laugh about it. It cut off his circulation. Thankfully, we were able to switch pants, and we were able to, make do with that. But it's ridiculous, If you're going to run a jail, you need to have clothing that fits people. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying, okay, it has to be an exact fit, because it doesn't. But it needs to be something that at least somewhat fits, not something that's so big that it's not going to fit at all. So yeah, it is rather ridiculous. And of course, our towel, which a normal towel is probably this long or whatever. No, it was half the size. It's ridiculous. You could barely dry yourself with that. And so that was the clothes we wore. There was more than one time that this happened. When I was in dorm living originally, we would go to get laundry, and this particular guard, I don't know what his problem was, but every time he would see me, he would call me Unabomber. just because of my charges, even though anyway, and it's like, I can't really say anything back. That wouldn't end well, and it would invite further abuse. And one of the other inmates told me, hey, next time you should say that's Mr. Kaczynski to you, because apparently he was the actual Unabomber. And I never did it, of course, but it's just another abuse of the guards is verbal abuse. And there were times when we would try to get extra socks because, well, they froze the crap out of us. So we would ball up our socks, and we would try to make one sock look like two. I tried that. I think I got away with it a couple times, but there was one time they caught me and they got kind of annoyed, and I'm like, well, what can I say, But yeah, it sucks having clothing that, for one, has been worn by who knows how many people, and two, often did not fit, and three, you sometimes had to wash it yourself because they said, oh, no laundry this week. Because there was actually a few times where they said, oh, we can't bring you laundry this week. And we're like, why the heck not? And of course they wouldn't tell us. And, it's ridiculous. So, and of course some people would squirrel away some of their clothing too because they wanted to stay warmer. And for some of us, which I thankfully had one, we had thermals, which were highly sought after. But yeah, they still weren't all that warm. But anyway, that's kind of the whole clothing situation there. I know this is a little bit different than the other ones, but this is one aspect, is that you're wearing clothing, the same clothing, day after day after day. If you're lucky and you get the powdered soap, you get to wash it. But most people didn't get to do that. So it was tough. And you just kind of had to wear dirty clothes, and that's what you went to court in, and there was nothing you could do about it. Because the guards didn't care. They didn't care to give you the right size. They didn't care if it fell off you. Well, okay, they cared then, but they didn't care enough to give you the proper clothing. They just told you to put it back on. But I just think it's ridiculous that they would give you clothing that doesn't fit, at all. I mean, I'm not just talking about a little bit, it's a little bit loose. I'm talking about, if I put this on, it will fall right back off. That is not how you want to be in jail. Let me tell you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode of Jail Recollections and Inside Look. God bless you guys. Be safe. Stay out of jail. Until the next adventure.